Hi and welcome to another section of Jeff the Master Barber. On this edition, I'm gonna show you how I do my fade, especially on this client. He likes a guard number 3 on the sides. So we're gonna be using the guard number 3, 3.5, 3, and 2. I mean 2.5 and 2. So basically, it's only 2 guards. Right there where I just started was with guard number 3. Now I open the level, and that's 3.5. And then we're gonna, basically, I have my combs. The reason why I use the comb is, instead of the brush, especially when it's long hair like that, when I lift it up, the hair that I'm taking off, then with the comb, I brush it, I comb it down, and the hair fall in place, and then let me see if I have to still take some of the hair or blend in. When I go to the top part, I kind of lift it up. There I close the level a little bit, and then I start going down a little, you know what I mean? I start going down where the guard was. I open the level there, and then I see that there's some bulkiness there. Now I put guard number 2, and the level is closed, right? That's level 2, guard 2. And the level is semi-open, which is not completely half, but and then I'm gonna put it right there. I'm gonna start like in the mid, and that's 2.5. So see, we already used guard 3. Then we right after 3, it did a line. So that then I took the line with I opened the level, and then I turned it into a 3.5. Then once I had the blend in between 3.5 and 3, now I'm using the 2.5 to take the blend in of the 3, and then we're gonna pass it in that area where I'm pointing at, and I'm gonna go right to left, left to right, and as you can tell, we're gonna pass it in that area, and so we're gonna keep passing it. We're gonna continue passing it, and we close the level is semi-closed but not completely closed. Then but we want to make sure that everything is thorough, you know what I mean? Everything is nice, and many times you want to make sure pass it and that you don't leave no longer hairs. There's gonna be times that you're gonna see some spot darker than others, so you want to make sure that you get those out. Now it's completely closed level, so now we're using guard number 2. So basically right here is, if people ask you, oh, can you do a fade with a number 2? This is what they're referring to. But remember, fade on the side with a number 2, it has more guards, which is the 2.5 and then 3, and then it blend in the top. This gentleman, shout out to Prodigy, thank you for letting me record you. He's been coming to me to get his haircut for quite a bit of time now. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your support, Prodigy. And this gentleman, he didn't want me to cut the top, so I follow. That's rule number 1. Follow instruction. Make sure you follow what the client asked for. So the top, we're just gonna leave it curly, and then we're gonna use scissors over comb to blend in even more the corners, the top of the corners. Right now I'm using the detailer. This trimmer, I know, has been in the market since 2013, the beginning of 2013, but now with the cordless trimmers and all that, and this Slimline is still one of my best cordless trimmer, but sometimes I need something sharp for and with a little bit more power to do the lineups. So I use this trimmer, but yeah, I still use the Andy Slimline. I use the corners just to get the arch, you know what I mean, to do the arch. Remember, people, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And even if you have your opinion, which you're entitled to your opinion, if you don't like it, you don't like it, that's cool. But at the end of the day, it's my client whose opinion really matters. And if you keep coming back and he keep paying me for the haircut, that's who really matters. You could say that you don't like it, but if he, when I show the mirror and he likes it and he pays me, at the end of the day, you know what I mean, I must be doing something good for him. You know, the haircut, obviously I did it right, because as long as he likes it, that's what matters. And like I say, it's not how we start, it's how we finish, and we just basically starting. It's not even halfway. Now we're gonna go to the other side. Like I said, for those that have missed the beginning, we're doing the fade, and we're gonna start it with guard number 3, level close. All right, and I'm using the combs. Oh, you usually normally use the brush. How come you're using the comb? Once again, he has a lot of long hair. The brush with long hair doesn't brush the same. So, you know, I use the comb because it penetrates to the bulkiness of the hair. So I'm able to, you know, pick up the hair really good and brush it and comb it down. Like I say, my English is not the best because I speak a lot of Spanish. So bear with me. You know, I'm trying my best to explain, especially with my English. You know, with my accent, but at least I could show you better than I can explain if you don't understand my English. But I hope you do. I hope you enjoy. I hope you're doing good. I hope you are able to maybe if you see some of the technique that I do or on this video, that you could probably, you know, try it and give it a try and see if it works for you. Right now we're using guard number 3. We were using 3.5, the level close. Now we close it. Is guard 3 still, and notice I'm going from right to left, left to right. There's a lot of ways to do fade. Some people start from the bottom, other people start up top, other people start in the middle. Right now we're using 2.5, just like we did in the other side. It's all preference, you know what I mean, for different haircuts or different technique. Some other barbers, you know, do it from the bottom so they stay with the level, or they feel more comfortable like that. But at the end of the day, it's what, you know, it's what make you feel comfortable, you know what I mean? No, don't let anybody tell you, no, you gotta keep it doing it like this and my weight is the only way. Nah, I never claimed that my weight is the only way, which is not, because there's millions of technique, million ways to do it. It's just your preference. Just like there's a bunch of colors. Just because I like blue, you don't necessarily have to like blue, you know. So it's your choice of how. Basically, what I'm trying to say is your choice how you want to do it, and things you could incorporate one thing from one barber that you learn one thing, and etc., etc. Right now we just closed the level to now completely 2. We were using the 2.5, now we go 2. So see, we got basically, if we go from bottom to top, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5. So there's 4 levels. What I'm saying is, look how I hold the ear, and then those 3 teeth of the guard, we're gonna pass it in that angle like that, so you could grab the hair real nice and comfortable, so you don't have to sacrifice, you know, putting that machine right on top of his ear, etc., etc. So right now we just still passing. Notice how section by section, little by little. I don't just because it may look easy or it may look already kind of like done. I take my time. I take every little corner and make sure that, you know, I pass the clipper, you know, a bunch of time so it look right, you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm very thorough with when I like to do the thing. I like to make sure that everything is even, so we're not in the back, you know. And we already seen the part where we did the lineup, and you know, look how it's coming, everything even. That's not, people's like, yeah, but that's not a fade. You cannot see the blend in. It's a fade, but it's not your typical type real tight fade. It's just, you know, with more hair. And this gentleman, he likes it that long. He don't like a tight fade, and but it's still a blend in. You gotta deal with levels. As you can tell, my trimmers, I don't have them 0 gap, just because I don't want to irritate the skin of the client. I just want to make sure that it cleans the most that it can, those long hair. And then to make it sharper, then I use the razor, the razor blade and get it a lot tighter. But my concern is more of the climb. That, you know, I won't irritate the skin. I will not cut them or anything like that. So right now I'm using the corners to do the inside part right there. As you could tell, we're using that right there. And now we're gonna do the box out. I'm using the corners, and I already did somewhat in the middle, begin in the middle, but I didn't grab that angle. But I'm gonna show you later on the other angle. I will get to it, but in the meanwhile, I'm just showing you. I don't push it back. I leave it as far as out as much as I can. You know what I mean? In that area right there, that's much as I take. But you see how the shape of the lineup is coming, and I'm not pushing it, nothing. You know what I mean? I'm just leaving it as natural possible. Notice it's not how, like I said in the beginning, it's not how we start, it's how we finish, how you finish. Make sure you finish hard. Make sure you pay attention to those little details that make the big difference. And I can't emphasize saying that because it really does. Right now we're using the technique scissors over comb or shears over comb. In this case, I'm using the oysters. There's a million name brand of scissors or shears. Whatever you feel comfortable, whatever works for you, that's what you use. Never claim, Jeff, you could give your opinion on which one, why you like it and why not. Well, I like this one because one, it's affordable. Two, it definitely has worked to me in the past, and so I stick with what has worked for me. You know what I mean? I don't go for most of the time because everybody's using it, or it's fancy, or it's top of the line. No, not necessarily. I don't want to give a message that you have to have. I mean, by all means, if you have the money and you could get it, go for it. But that's not my message. My message is you could, whatever you have in your hand, whatever you have already, work with that and learn to appreciate and learn the process and learn to work with your tools until you get the hang of it. And then if it doesn't really meet your expectation, then you keep switching, keep adding new tools, new different whatever it is, scissors, razor, machines, until you will know the difference. But in order to do that, you gotta first try for a while. The first try may be a little bit comfortable, but after you give it a couple more tries, sometimes, you know what I mean, it will change the way you think about it. Because sometimes you gotta break in, whether it's a machine or scissors or whatever it is in life, you gotta break it in sometimes, you know. So, right now we're still using the technique scissors over comb. I'm using the big teeth of the comb because they act like a one and a half, one. And as I'm going up, I lift it up. With the scissors over comb, I have more control on what I want to take. You know what I mean? I don't have to sacrifice using the whole guard and lifting. You know what I mean? When you use the guard, you take more hair. There's time that you could take. It will take more hair, in my opinion. But with this, I just take strictly what I need. Right here, see, this is the what I was saying earlier. I leave the box out as much natural. You know what I mean? Just because I see that his hairline is all the way in the back, I'm not gonna push it back, because then that is just gonna open his forehead. It's gonna make his forehead bigger. And anyway, he likes the curlies to be forward. He don't push it back. He push his curlies in the front forward, so he will cover anyway the box out. But it's just, I leave it natural. You know what I mean? That's how he's been asking me to do it, and that's how I'm gonna keep it. Some people grow the hair different than others, and that's what it is. It's just you gotta pay attention on how people grow, you know, their hair. See, his hair sometimes it's a little bit more pushed back, but I'm not gonna push it. It's like I'm saying, it's better to keep it as natural possible because it will last more. At this point, I have them laying down. The reason why I have them laying down, I want one, I'm a short guy, so I want to be comfortable. Notice how I comb the hair where I'm gonna be trimming. He wants the beard to look, you know, as much natural but wide, you know, real wide. So that's the reason one that I have him laying down, comfortable for me, and at the same time comfortable for him. You know, he's like, you know, sleeping there. You could tell that my trimmers are not bothering him because he's not blinking his eye, he's not squinching his eye, and that's what I want. I want to experience. Yeah, but Jeff, that's not coming sharp. Of course, not coming sharp right now, because like I said, I use the trimmer to what it is, to trim first those hairs, the longer hairs, and to shape it up just a little bit. I don't need to really have something crazy. And by all means, you know, if you have yours that way and it has been working for you, congratulations, man, keep doing it. But me, I do me the way that I like to, how it's been working, you know. Eventually, how I'm gonna get sharper, and if you stick longer to see this video, you're gonna see how I get a lot sharper without irritating the client's skin. And it's through, you know, using the razor blade. That's what is the razor. Eventually, if you use the razor to do the shape up, what's the sense of you doing it so sharp from the beginning and sacrifice of that machine being so sharp that could cut and cut the skin of the client or irritate it? You know what I mean? There's no sense. I'd rather to just enough that it cut, and then with the blade I get it sharper. So same thing that I did in the other side, I do it on this side, and I comb it out, I leave, I shape it up as much as outside possible, and as you can tell, little by little, it's getting there. You know what I mean? We square it at the bottom, leave it real natural. You don't have to press the trimmer in order to cut. Sometimes when you push it too hard, it will not cut. So that's another advice or tip that I give. Like I said, there's millions of videos right now of YouTubers, barbers, probably better than me, or some of them worse than me. I never compare myself to nobody. I just make sure that I give a good haircut to my client, and I always say quality over quantity. My goal is not how many I could do in a day. My goal is that every day when I do at least one person, that person that he leaves out of the shop or out of my chair satisfied with the service, and that he want to make sure he want to come back. What's the sense of they give you the opportunity to cut their hair and you don't take advantage of that? You know what I mean? You just want to do a few real quick bucks. With quality, you could ask for whatever you are, the money that you asking, and most of the time they will give it you gladly if they like what you did and you did the quality and you put your time. Definitely, you charge accordingly what you worth, what you spend on that client. You know, these are the blade Black Widow. The cream that I put is medicated. I like these Black Widow blades. They're real sharp, the platinum, and they come double wrap. And yeah, they've the premiums, and not the platinum, the premium, and the razor holder, awesome too. So if you want a good razor that will keep the blade steady, and you can put the blade in, not struggling, and you don't want no vibration on your blade, and you want to make sure it's nice and steady, definitely the Black Widow razor holder and the blade. And he got also the shears. He also has the pomade. But the products that I use a lot are the blades and the razor holder. As you could tell, the cream has already dried. And what I like about this cream, it acts like a mask that protect the skin. So even if you pass it when it's dry, it will put like a seal, like a layer. And you can pass the blade, and definitely if in the skin, trust me, I've used it on me, and even when it dries up, and they're passing the blade, you don't feel no burn sensation. It's real nice and cool. You feel like the blade is like an ice cube. This is what I like about the shaving cream, and it's medicated. It says it's medicated. Not only that, sometimes I don't like the cream to be too wet and too wet or too moisture, because sometimes when you pass the blade, it will skip, it will slip, and it will not grab those hair. But when it's nice and semi-dry, definitely you have like a nice grip to it. But and then, you know, that's just me, you know what I mean. As you could tell, the box out, even when he dries, sometimes it could be he had dead skin, but in this case I know it's the shaving cream that we put, and we take in the cream off basically, and that white dust, I use it as a defense line. It let me know, okay, I already passed it there, already making it sharp. So you see what I'm saying about why I don't care about how sharp my trimmers are, because look, at the end of the day, the details that how sharp I want my lineups to look, I do it with the razor, you know what I mean. And you know, it's just I have better control and more stability on how I really want that lineup to look. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I don't really pay attention of zero gapping and having my trimmers to hit real hard. By all means, if you like yours like that, I'm not saying that is nothing wrong. I'm just saying for me, it does. I don't like that. For me, I like, you know, just to clean enough those hair, and that's it. Those two hairs right there in the lips, we're gonna take care of that later on. Those little things you're gonna see in the finished product. When I show the video, you're gonna see how it's done. Jeffrey, how come you're talking like somebody's already making opinion and whatever? Nah, I'm just letting myself know that, you know, some people they're already, you know, I seen it in comments, so, and they think that I just because I'm very, they take my kindness for weakness, and it's not like that. You know, I'm very humble in a sense that I'm giving my time and trying to show what I got, even if it's not a lot or even if it's not the best. But I know that with what I have, other people could learn and be thankful and grateful for those people. I'm doing this video. But if you're the type of person that you got that egotistic, oh, I'm better than you and I have someone better than you, or do that, but you know, hey, you know, you could go to that other person. What are you doing in this channel then? You know what I mean? Yeah, I just like to bug you, whatever. Hey, you're not bugging me. You just wasting or spending your marvelous time in my channel. To me, I'm like, you're giving me your time. So basically, you're not, you know, whatever it goes, how you see it, you know, it's your fault. But at the same time, I'm keep doing me. I'm showing, I'm passing the trimmer. Notice how keep doing my work. After I shave from the top to bottom, I go bottom to top. That way it take the roots out of the, you know, the hair. Jeff, I don't pay attention to those people that talk. They just want you to get your energy. Nah, I don't care. I don't mind talking. I don't mind even if they haven't said nothing and it's just me. I like to think different ways, and just let them know that I'm not a easy walk in the park just to someone that you just gonna bash and talk, because I'm not. I'm gonna teach those who want to learn that, you know, just because you are learning, or you know, beginning to cut hair, or you don't cut in the level that they expect you to cut, that you don't know how to respond back, that you don't know how to you know, respect yourself and fight for yourself. So I'm here to let you know, you know what I mean? And just because my English is not the best, and just because I started, because I'm trying to look for the right words to put in right words, you know, imagine you try to speak all the language, and if you only knew how to speak only one language. So either way they're try to come out with, I know how to defend myself. So at this point I already shaved from the bottom to top. I mean from the top to bottom. Now I shave bottom to top. The reason why I first shave top to bottom is so that way it won't irritate as much the skin, or take, you know, when you take the hair from bottom to top, you take it all the way from the root and the long hair, and that really will start the climb, the hair bleed, and then the skin and bleed and everything. At this point I have them sit down, and we're gonna do details, you know, we're gonna just pass it. We're gonna make, when you have them sit down, you can see some of the little things, like right here, this little hair right there, you know, those little details make the big difference. And yeah, it just, you keep passing it however many times you want to pass it. You're gonna have that inner voice that is gonna tell you, oh yeah, pass it right here. Right now what I'm doing is the magic clip level close, and I'm just grooming those hair, the long hairs that you're gonna see in the, especially in the bottom, this part right here. Watch, see, it's getting all nice and trimmed, those little hair that are standing up. So now it's basically, you know, and those little hair right there. So I use the clipper kind of like to trim down those little hair. When he talks, make sure you take the clipper out, don't put it, because then if it moves, it could definitely, you know, make a hole or mess it up. So same thing with the blade. If it's talking, make sure you don't use the blade. At this point, notice how, you know, I'm getting it more and more sharper. And then that once I have it all done, I'm gonna put aftershave, and I'm gonna take that white dust. You know, it's not necessarily that I'm gonna leave it like that, but for me, when I'm doing my work, I just want to know that I already passed that. That right there was some dark spot, and that right there, and that beard. So then I took a trimmer over comb, and as you could tell, passing it there, and using the corners, passing a couple of times, just getting more and more in detail. Whenever you pass, just like I did earlier, the the trimmer over comb, it kind of messed up my shape, or not messed up, but it took the shape, and I like to see every detail or everything with the same consistent, you know. So right here, just like I did in the other side, I do the same thing, which is, you know, get those long hairs. There's some longer hairs than the other one, and you kind of penetrate a little bit of the blade into it, but at the same time you go, you know, every angle that you see some long hair pulling your attention, and you're just gonna, you know, go right there like that. You groom it out. It makes the big difference when you seen it like this, but once I pull out the camera a little out, you're gonna see how good and detail and big difference it makes when you look at from different angles. Look at how I clean the shape up behind his ear. As you can tell, notice how I grab the ear, use my other hand. Notice how I use the corner of the blade just to basically to be, you know, sharp and have a good control, you know. And notice how I don't press it too hard. Notice how my hands always, both hands, whatever the blade is, the left hand is stretching the skin behind the ear right there. And yeah, we're passing it right there in the little corner. See, many times wherever you're gonna pass, it doesn't matter. Oh, you already passed it there. Hey, you do you, I do me. You know, I do what it keeps working for me, and that's my advice to those barbers out there that are doing. And you have those other barbers that they like to be all up in your business. Even if it's constructive criticism, listen, at the end of the day, it's you that is gonna be doing it, and the only way sometimes in life, the only way to learn in life is sometimes, even though it sounds crazy, but in order to learn is going through those headaches,
through those errors, through those mistakes. You know, if you're not willing to fail, not that you don't want to, but if you fail, don't be afraid to fail. Don't let other people's opinion matters, because at the end of the day, you know, you giving what you can, you know what I mean? And sometimes you wanted to please everyone and anyone, and most of the time it's not like that. You can't please the whole world. So be you know, do the best that you can, but not in a sense that you like, oh, have to be pleased, they have to be good, he's gonna like it, I know for a fact that he's gonna. Nah, you know, not necessarily he's gonna like it. If he doesn't like it, then be willing to understand that it's okay. Maybe that haircut he didn't like or whatever, but maybe next time he will, if you give you another chance, and maybe in later time you will have a better perspective of why did you fail, what it was the one that you did differently, and what it takes. So only you and you alone will know that. This is the finished product. As you could tell, it's a big difference. If you want to see how he looked when he came in, you could start the video, and in between the video you're gonna see how he was. But I'm sure you remember everything, how he looked. But this is, you know, even here I was like, let me get something over here is pulling my attention. So right here I was like, let me take a little touch up right here, let me get it more close, let me get it more up close, right there, and then right there. I was like, yeah, right there, that looks good right there. And then I step back, and now you can see the difference. Look at how that beard looks, you know, it's not all over the place. And now that I step out, you can see what I'm seeing, you know what I mean? No, he looks too hairy still. Hey, this is what he likes, this is what he pays me for, and he's very happy. He was very happy, and that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, the only opinion that matters is the client, and even don't have to be true either. If he doesn't like it, that doesn't mean that you're not a barber. It's just simply that you couldn't, you know, make that happen at that time, but later on you will. Anyway, thank you. I hope you get something out of it. God bless you. It's your boy Jeff the Master Barber. Peace.